Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. This week, Nick and I, we dive deep into barley. Man, everything barley growing, the barley process. You know what? You might want to push up your glasses and open your can of beers because it's getting nerdy. All that more on this week's episode. What did we do these last 3 weeks, Zoe? What'd you make it to?
Yeah, because, you get a cork locked out, boop, it just flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it. The legend, Mr. Pete Crowley. I love Pete Crowley, man.
How's that beer? It's what you think it is.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever go to, every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I am Brad Chmielewski.
Hey, Brad, I'm Nick White.
And you know what? We're trying out video for the first time.
We're evolving, man.
I know. It was time. The world needed to see our face. We are made for video. Some people are like, they have a radio voice.
Yeah.
Not us.
No.
We have a video face.
Don't make me spit out this this beer out of cans we're drinking today, man.
Oh, man, that would be awful, especially with what we're drinking. But if this is your first time listening or watching Chicago Beer Pass, what we do on the show is we break down our past week, the events we made it to, the drinking we got done or accomplished.
Yeah.
I like to see it as accomplishment. I made it through the week and, didn't puke. That's but, you made it to some great events this week. I finally made it to something, so we got some good stuff to talk about.
Right on.
But as we do every week, we're always drinking local beer. And no exception this time, we have one of the newest beers to hit cans. But not even their newest now because they have a new one out. But This is Pipeworks Ninjas vs. Unicorns.
Yeah. Ninja versus Unicorn, man. Double IPA. This is extremely dangerous. 8% IPA in a can. And what is it? The arcade. Emporium in Logan Square. They don't even have a tap system, so everything's in cans.
Right, yeah.
So you get a beer like this in a can, it'll slow you down very quickly.
It gets rowdy real fast, yeah.
Yeah. I like the clean, malty sweetness, man. I was thinking about this, man. I was thinking, like Pliny the Elder.
Yeah.
Dreadnought. Some of my favorite double IPAs. I think on the local side of things, this is right up there. I was thinking, Matthias from Haymarket, I really love.
Yeah, that's good. But that's a big red IPA.
American Muscle from Local Option. That's like 12%. That's really good. But this, as far as double IPAs go, those two that I named are not in a can.
No, not at all. Yeah.
This is a righteous beer.
Yeah, it does have a similar, profile as Dreadnought. Now that you mentioned that, it just has that great sweetness, but the hop bite that you really want from an IPA.
Very aggressive hop profile, but just this wonderful malt balance. It's good.
I almost didn't bring this in because I didn't want to share it. That's how
good it is.
It's like, I don't know. I only have 2 left because I drank my other 2. But I brought it in because they just had an event. What was it, last night or 2 nights ago at Emporium where they released the Blood of the Unicorn at Emporium. So I felt like it was appropriate for us to be drinking this beer this week. Yeah, I think.
And I don't know who's going to win, but this unicorn looks obsessed.
Well,
he looks like a Mustang, right?
See, you would think you'd go with the ninja because you got a sword, but you know what? That unicorn, he's just going to bite through it, and he's got magical powers because he's a unicorn. So I'm going unicorn. Man, easy. Well, should we jump into this weekend? Weekend. We really,
yes.
I think. Did you do anything before the weekend, before your big trip?
No, I did a whole lot of nothing.
Okay.
Did the brew bus tour, and then just kind of laid low, packed kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start off because we got yours was a pretty big thing, and mine was just a single day event.
You partied though.
I made it to the Wicker Park Fest.
Right on.
Right down the street from me, so very easy to go to. And they were serving all Lagunitas beers.
No kidding.
I didn't even see any Budweiser. They had like sangria and wine, but I didn't see any Budweiser, Miller Coors. It was Lagunitas.
Yeah, now I've been to that event in the past, and I know that in the past you could get either Bud or you could get like Crispin, which is a Miller thing now, and you could get like Miller products.
Okay.
But that's a shift if they're doing Lagunitas stuff there.
Yeah, they had in their main tents they had daytime IPA, and do they have a wit?
If they do, I can't think of the name of it. If they do,
one other one, but you know what? They all taste the same. Like, not to be a jerk, but they just have a similar like profile. It's either the hop, the yeast. It's not water because you've got different water sources, and it's always kind of tasted the same.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm at Lagunitas and I go to the tour of the actual facility, that big, the what is it? It's like a
catwalk.
Yeah, the catwalk, the scaffold. They force you to put your beer in cups. So if I got a sample and it's got a little something IPA and daytime on it, I'll just blend them all in one 12-ounce glass.
Little something was the other one.
Yeah.
But they did have like in the middle area where it takes a long time anytime you're at a fest to walk from one end to the other, so you don't always make it. But in the middle they had beers for $1 or $2 more, and they had the WTF and a couple other like more special
which is a nice like malt forward departure from all their other stuff.
Right.
I like WTF. Mm-hmm. They wanted to name it like Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, like the actual.
Walter. Yeah. I think it says that, and then on the package it's WTF. So.
Yeah, because I think like the feds got pissed at them because you can't use the word whiskey if there's no whiskey in it, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So it's just the initials.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
But that was a fun event, and then bars as well. You were allowed to take beer out. I think this became a thing. Maybe like 2 years ago. I think Andersonville was the first time I saw this happen. But you could go into a bar, they'd put your beer in a plastic cup or give you one to go, and you could leave with it.
Like straight up New Orleans style.
Yeah. I think they probably just got sick of people just hanging out in the bars and not, enjoying the fest or spending time out there. So they're just like, screw it. Like, you're buying beer from us. You're in this area. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
So I went into Lynx. Always great tap list there. I had the latest Paleta from.
Oh yeah, probably Tamarind.
Tamarind, yeah. That was good. That was the
Five Rabbit.
Yeah, was that the second one now in like 3 years of them doing this?
What's up with that?
We're gonna do this. It started off like every month you're gonna see a different flavor.
Right.
And they've done 2.
I remember. What was it? The opening ceremony to Chicago Craft Beer Week. Beer under glass. They had the how, because Paletas is like modeled after the basically like a Mexican popsicle, like a frozen dessert, summertime dessert, summertime popsicle. But they, instead of having like just traditional taps, they had a truck that had Paletas on it. And then that was the tap. So they'd walk around the crowd and like pour people beer.
That's fun.
Which is cool. Yeah.
But that was a good flavor, and I think we had the Boulevard Radler.
Oh.
So that was a solid Radler as well. We were keeping it low ABV when we went inside because we're like, those Lagunitas beers catch up to you. And then it was super hot that day. It was just like a gross weekend here in Chicago.
Yeah. We're looking at like 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High humidity. So.
For sure.
But that was a fun time, and just surprised to see Lagunitas, locking that down like that.
Yeah, that's a high traffic area, to say the least.
Imagine the money spent to get that.
My very first Wicker Park Fest, it was a weekend Amy Winehouse died. That's random as hell, I know. But then also that was the same weekend I met the ladies who put on Festival.
Oh, cool.
And that's
Heather
Heather and Aaron, and that's where our journey started, just being big fans of Festival.
Oh, that's
awesome. All at Wicker Park Fest.
Speaking of, you should definitely get tickets for Festival. They are on sale now.
True.
That'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
But that was my big event that I made it to. What about this? You traveled out to Wyoming?
What am I doing, man?
You even left this great city of ours?
Dude, for the mountains. And I tell you something about these mountains, man. The degrees are a very weird thing out there. It can be 80 during the day, and then it drops to like 35. You do like a 50-degree swing, and it's no big deal. Okay. Yeah. So I went to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and then also went to Idaho, which is just over the Grand Teton Mountains. I went out there with Budweiser.
Okay.
So they have a barley plant, as well as a malting facility. So we were getting like a behind the scenes look at how they turn barley into malt, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a plant, not they don't grow barley there. They like
No,
get it.
they don't grow barley themselves, but they do. They do contract a really big barley grower. The guy's name is Clark Hamilton. He has a 6,000 acre location.
Just one dude.
Just one dude. Yeah. He's like, dude, he's got like a 4-man team
Barley dude.
with
Barley
6,000
man.
acres.
I hope his Twitter handle's like Barley Man.
Right. Yeah.
Barley Bro.
And it was weird, man. You know, like my favorite part was, you know, because it's harvest season right now.
Yeah.
So while, you know, the really big machinery is chopping up all the barley and gathering and harvesting it, you see eagles like circling the crops, because when the barley's chopped, you know, and whatever's left, the stalks, like that's where the grain mice are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the hawks are like just circling around.
The ones we see on the off-color beers, right?
On the off-color label, yeah. And I asked Lafleur once. I'm like, dude, what's up with the ferret on your logo, bro? He's like, it's a grain mouse, Nick. Like,
and now did you see any mice?
I saw one grain mouse.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you see it after they pick up the barley.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got this fresh cut stalk, you know, like a foot or two off the ground, and then you see the barley.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, man, he's got a 6,000 acre barley farm, and he used to grow alfalfa, but for the last 14 years he's been growing barley for Budweiser.
Sprout?
The Sprout, yeah. So he stopped doing that. Budweiser called and said, "Hey, you know, you want to grow some barley for us?" And then he started growing barley.
I feel like if Budweiser calls, they're like, "Hey, you want to get out of the alfalfa game?"
He's like, "I know you're doing your thing, making alfalfa for those Jimmy John sandwiches that are all the rage now. But if you want to, you know, do some, join the big leagues, kid. Fucking grow some barley for AB."
If you do barley, we're on board. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna stop growing alfalfa. Like, no way the money for alfalfa sprouts even compares.
So yeah, and so we go out there to visit the farm.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this guy's really cool. He's like, and he's very proud. He's very clear. He's like, listen, I'm growing barley. I'm growing Budweiser barley.
Okay.
You know, he's letting it be known. So it's like, so we went to the farm, and then we also went to the malting facility where they take that barley and convert it into malt. So Budweiser has, I didn't know any of this actually. They have 26 breweries worldwide, and then they have 13 of those are in America. They actually have contracts with 800 different barley growers.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they can't even that they still contract out because 800 growers isn't enough for them to, you know, supply out these breweries. Yeah. So we saw the malting process, how they turn the barley into malt, which is pretty cool. So they take the barley 200 acres at a time and put it in this 4-step process that turns it into malt. So first thing you do is you know, you basically get warm water, trick the barley into thinking it's spring, and then it germinates a bit, and then it grows, and then you agitate it, and then at the end you roast it, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
4 steps, yeah.
Oh,
So
neat.
they're doing this in,
And then dry it, or
and
the roasting dries it, right?
the kiln.
Like the thing you put pot, like if you were in a pottery class, like.
No, kiln. I don't know about pottery.
Yeah.
I've never been in a
Yeah,
pottery
okay,
class.
yeah.
But yeah, this kilning. The very end is a kilning process where this is the last day and all you do is roast it.
Okay.
Basically. Yeah. So that's a 4-day process.
It takes 4 days.
It takes 4 days to do that. They're doing 1 million pounds of barley per batch.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the barley they're growing is Voyager. The thing I noticed that kind of caught my attention was that
The barley is Voyager? I thought Voyager's a hop.
no.
Voyager's a barley?
Voyagers of barley. I mean, it could very well be a hop because they're naming these things. So like they took us, you know, as a you know, just interjecting, they took us to a smaller field, like it's their experimental field.
The different guy or same guy?
Different guy. Yeah, and then they're naming all these different variants. They're naming them their own. You know?
Okay.
So there's one called Growler, there's one called Metcalf, and these are all the experimental ones. So what their goal is to make these the barley, you know, stand straight up, and then have like maybe 26 to 32 kernels. That's like the perfect stock of barley.
Barley, okay.
Yeah. So
Have they done any, or did you get a chance to try beers that were like we have the single hop variants? Are there like different barley? Like here's the same Budweiser beer, but with, growler barley, and this is the Voyager growler.
I wish that would have been the case, but no. What we did was we tried the wort. So you got to try the wort at different stages of the process. So you tried the wort after 3 days, the wort after 4 days, the wort after like a day.
What's the best day?
The best day is a 3-day for sure. Okay. Yeah, because it's got that nice kind of like golden color. It kind of smells like honey a little bit, and it has less of those like earthy, grassy notes that the 1 and 2 day had.
Oh, cool.
I thought the 3 day was the sweet spot. Yeah, but it was cool, man. Just getting a behind the scenes look at how they harvest this barley and turn it into malt. They said they're one of only 3 brewers on the planet that do this. Miller Coors does it, and then Carlsberg, which is somewhere in Europe. Gotta be honest with you, not sure where.
I've had Carlsberg beer before.
Yeah, so I'm like, dude,
it's not good.
You gotta have it at it probably tastes different if you have it there.
A 3-day Carlsberg is the best Carlsberg.
I had the 3-day Carlsberg. Not impressed. Not a fan. I mean, they were saying like, I'm like, dude, why would you get into barley? Like, why would you start growing your own barley? And they're like, well, we needed to understand what the vertical integration of this barley was, because we're doing it all over the globe. So like, if we're growing Voyager in Cali, it's going to be, the climate and the conditions are going to be different if we're growing in Idaho or the Czech Republic or anywhere else. He's like, the best way for us to understand how this behaves so that we can have the exact same beer anywhere on the planet was critical to us. So instead of buying the barley, we decided to grow it. Oh, cool. And then it also gives us a chance to leverage all our other raw materials. So like, for example, and this is a really smart approach, they were like, hey, now that we understand how to grow barley, we can have a different conversation when it's time to go talk to a hop grower, because we understand the agricultural piece. Okay. In order to get closer to that, we had to start growing it ourselves.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah. Can they grow barley like everywhere? Is it pretty versatile crop?
Versatile in a sense that you can grow it all year long. So they have an experimental barley called a winter. They call it a winter barley.
Is it white?
It's white, and you have to dig like 3 feet of snow. No. It does grow. I think it starts at the end of the harvest, like in October, and then it grows over the winter, and then they grab it early spring.
Oh, okay. Before they would plant again.
Exactly. What he said was that the winter barley experiment, and they have universities helping them out with this as well, which was kind of cool. He said the winter barley actually saves them 25% on water usage.
Oh, because all the snow and the moisture in the air in the wintertime. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Huh. So that was cool.
But yeah. It sounds like you are... you're a Budweiser man now.
I know. Well, I took a lot of notes. I learned a lot about Budweiser, and I'll tell you something, man. And we had a conversation about, because they did that ad during the Super Bowl, right? And one of the ladies there is the lady like responsible for the ad.
She owned up to this ad,
right? And I'm like, so, dude, and that wasn't the only one that asked this. There were 12 publishers from across the country, and I'm like, so, dude, what's up with this ad? Why are you so...
intervention for this lady?
No, because the ad, if you guys don't know, the Super Bowl ad, it came off very adversarial. Like, hey, we are big and we are awesome. And it basically, the middle finger to anyone who's not big. Yeah. That's kind of what the ad said. And, and she took the very political route towards answering. Just kind of saying like, hey, it wasn't really meant to be adversarial. What we wanted to do was just, take a look at the processes that we do and the work that we do to make the same beer all around the globe, and take a lot of pride in that. She was like, it was more of a rallying cry for people who actually work for the company than anything else.
I think it would have been a great ad if they took out the jabs.
Yes.
It was the underhanded jabs that hurt and continue to, I guess, hurt the way they do with social media, some stuff and things like that. It's like they want to have us talking about it because the people that listen to the show, we keep mentioning Budweiser now, and that's good for them.
Yeah, the ad made it seem like, hey, if you're not drinking Budweiser, then you're not. What am I trying to say? If you're not drinking Budweiser, then you're
not one of us.
You're like a pinkies up kind of. I don't know. It kind of basically put.
You're one of them, I guess.
Let me put it like this, right? Like with let's shift gears a little bit, right? Like Miller Lite, right? Miller Lite, you know, they ran into some turbulence with regards to their sales recently, and what they did, which I thought was actually pretty brilliant, they just went back and grabbed the 1970s branding,
Yeah.
right, and made it the old navy blue and gold Miller Lite can, right? But you never got the impression that Miller Lite was going out of its way to say things about small businesses in an underhanded kind of way.
Right.
You never got that impression from Miller Lite.
What do you think the Bud Light and the Miller Lite drinker are the same person? Like, what? I feel like they have a different image.
Yeah.
For the two of them.
Yeah.
And for what, maybe it's marketing or maybe not, but I feel like the Miller Lite brand is often like maybe more country for some reason. Like not
I think the Miller Lite
Southern.
brand definitely does a better job of lining itself with like sporting events.
Okay.
For sure, because like at White Sox Park, you know, like it's a Miller House and Miller Lite.
Yeah.
Miller Lite's our top brand. I think with Budweiser, Bud Light. Let's be clear, Bud Light is the number one selling beer in America.
Yeah.
Right. Like 20% of all beers sold in America are Bud Light.
Yeah.
Right. But
Bud Light always feels like a younger, and then Budweiser feels like almost more expensive than MGD. Like, oh, like that's too good for me. And then Miller Lite's like, oh, I'm like a college kid, or I can't even drink yet. I'm drinking Bud Light. But Miller Lite's like just mowing your lawn kind of.
Yeah, I do kind of think like obviously the demographics gonna like they're all gonna overlap, right? Because they're all macro drinkers. But I think there are some differences in the demographic. And I will say this, right? Like I think it's interesting to me how the marketing at Budweiser has everyone buying Miller Lite. I'm sorry, has everyone buying Bud Light versus Budweiser, just based on the fact that it's a lighter beer. When it's really not that much lighter. Like,
no, it's not.
Like Bud Light is like maybe 115, 120 calories, and Budweiser is only like 140 calories.
Right. It's not,
like it's not that much different, you know.
but what doesn't? What was it? The book I read a while back ago, but it was like that Bud Light is a little hoppier than Budweiser to make it kind of that crisper finish. So. Man, it's a different feeling beer.
I hear that. Yeah, I was.
Which one was your favorite when you were drinking over the weekend? Was it Bud Light or
Oh,
Budweiser?
yeah, I'm
Which
glad-
one? How many 30 packs did you crush?
You know, just out in the mountains, fucking crushing 30 packs, 30 dogs of fucking
Shredding the
Budweiser.
gnar.
You know. I will say this: things got interesting. So we drank. Their big campaign is like Budweiser and burgers, right? So the first night, that's what we did, and then the rest of the trip, there was really an emphasis on like trying beers from what they call their research pilot brewery. So if you ever go to St. Louis, right, they got the big
Goose Island?
no, not Goose Island, like actual Budweiser brew. So if you go to St. Louis, they got the big Budweiser house with the Clydesdales and all that jazz. But then there's also this smaller 15-barrel system, and there's a different brewmaster, and he's making beers.
Okay.
So a lot of his beers were on display there. So he's doing beers like, you know, he's got a Saison, and I got a list here actually. Yeah, he had a cherrywood smoked lager, a mesquite smoked lager, a Marzen, which I thought was really nice, and then he also had a Belgian double, a Saison, a fruit American sour. So there's this festival in St. Louis every year called the Heritage Fest.
Yeah.
And at the Heritage Fest, they got 31 brewers that come out. It's in this big park in St. Louis, and he said that was their the beer that they sold the most, or the beer that they poured the most, was the American sour. Like the guys who wanted like a big aggressive sour ale, you know, fans of like Perennial or fans of Upland, they were disappointed. But anybody who wanted like a clean, refreshing sour was really excited that beer was there.
Oh, cool.
So I just want to say kudos to this guy, man, because he makes about 40 beers annually, 40 different beers.
Yeah.
And it's all in the name of research. So outside of this kind of like outreach event that we went to and like these festivals, you don't really get to see his beers unless you go to the research pub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And those beers are really good. So his name was Rob Naylor. He was the brewmaster of the Research Pilot Brewery. Yeah. Huh. And his beers were definitely the most interesting ones of the group, or of the trip for sure.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's going to be an article on Chicago Beer Geek soon of
for
all
sure.
this.
I think we're gonna dive into like the history of the farm and really the science behind turning barley into malt.
Oh, okay.
And just dive nose first into that and talk about that as like as an in-depth story on Chicago Beer Geeks for
Nice.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That should be fun. Definitely head over to ChicagoBeerGeeks.com and check that out. It should probably be up in the next week or so, right?
You betcha.
Yeah. Otherwise, they'll be knocking on your door like, where's the article? Well, should we jump into this week's events? What's happening? It's kind of a light week. Man, where are all the events happening? Probably neighborhood festivals. That's where they are.
Yeah.
But we have a couple on our list that you should be checking out. What do you got? What do you got first?
All right. We'll start with Thursday, which is July 30th. So this is the Chicago Handshake Party at Crown Liquors. So for those who don't know, Crown Liquors is at Diversity in Milwaukee. They were just a liquor store. Now they're going to become a liquor store / tap room.
Okay. I feel like I know Crown Liquors. I'm really not sure if I've ever been in there.
I've never been. I pass it all the time. It's across street from the Gap outlet. I pass it all the time. I never go.
From the Gap outlet. I'm trying to like picture Diversity in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not far from the Rev tap room, right?
No, maybe like a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay. So it's right off the train there.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
so what's cool is that the owners of the Rocking Horse and High Dive and Dante's Pizzeria, which is like 2 doors down, they own Crown Liquors. So what they want to do is enhance the experience. And then they're going to have, for this party, which is tomorrow on the 30th, they'll have 5 DJs, and then they'll also unveil all 24 taps.
Is it still going to be a liquor store? Is it becoming a slashy?
Yes, it's becoming a slashy, so
What?
it'll keep the liquor store piece.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Like I thought that was like a super old license that like only a few people had, and like the chances of getting that seemed super
Oh.
rare, right?
I got to go to this. This is like down the street from me, so
It's like a new slashy.
Now,
What?
yeah, they are for sure becoming a tap room.
Okay.
So, but that would suck if they just became a tap room and then just had to stop having to-go sales. That would kind of
Yeah.
suck, right?
That would kind of be a bummer, yeah.
Yeah. So
Were they a good liquor store?
I've never been.
Okay.
I-
Probably
never been.
felt shady going in there. Like, sometimes
They
you
like gave you a receipt with like no itemization on it. We're just this is speculation. Neither of us have ever
but
never
like
been.
sometimes you go into those old liquor stores and you're just like, man, I don't know what I'm doing here, but this was the place to get beer.
Yeah.
And yeah, what? They got crazy. They got Bourbon County Rare. Like that stuff happens. You're like, oh my god, because no one goes, because everyone's afraid.
Yeah.
But usually those places have good beer.
Be like, that Bourbon County label looks odd. It looks light blue. Is that Bourbon County Proprietors?
Yeah.
You got prop right now on top?
Yeah, it's last year's. It's on sale.
Here's a pint glass. So the Chicago Handshake is a 16-ounce can of Old Style and a shot of Malort.
Do you think they calling it that because they kind of went on the table to get this happen and it was like just a handshake? Like,
I love the innuendos
like,
here
let us
with
just,
the name.
Let us just serve beer. Cool? All right. Yeah.
Good.
There's a 20 on my hand here. Yeah.
I've been practicing this all week. Here you go. Yeah. God, this is horrible. Like for a place that we've never been, this is horrible.
Why? I'm not saying it's bad. I think that's pretty awesome that they were
Yeah.
able to pull this off.
Yeah.
Like, wow, more power to them. And it's a great location, right off the blue line there.
Yeah, right in Avondale,
Yeah.
right at the end of Logan. This is tomorrow. This is going to be. Their tap room holds 50 people, and they're going to have 24 taps. So cheers to those guys.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, opening parties tomorrow night.
Check that out.
Yeah, we'll move right into Friday.
All right.
Friday the 31st, Buckle Down.
Okay.
They did a barrel-aged beer with Haymarket. It's called the Awkward Exchange. It's a Belgian dark ale that they aged in Woodford Reserve barrels with blackberry. They're going to have a launch party for that at the brewery out in Lyons.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice brewery, and they got some parking outside,
Yeah.
and it's right off the expressway, so it's really easy to get to.
For sure. And we're going to back up a little bit and go back to Thursday the 30th.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into Ruth Chris. Ruth Chris. They've got a Metropolitan dinner on
nice.
Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 courses, 5 Metropolitan beers. Kudos to Metropolitan, man. They're the only brewery in town that only focuses on lagers. So that's
Yeah, and they do them well. It's not like they focus on them and they're bad.
Right, and they're making bullshit lagers. Like they're making quality lagers, man. It's lager Chicago style for sure. You're gonna get 5 courses. It's a 7 p.m. start on Thursday. That's a $75 ticket right at Ruth Chris in River North.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. 2 great events Thursday. Another one Friday. And then, you know what? August, man. August is here. Our summer is slipping away from us.
I don't want to hear about this.
It's a sad day. But we have...
It'll be fucking football season and Thanksgiving soon.
I know. And then Christmas. And then, and then summer's here again. So,
Okay.
All right,
cool.
Yeah,
all right.
just
I'm feeling
next summer will be here before you know it.
I feel bad.
What's happening August 1st?
August 1st, we've got the Wheaton Ale Fest. So our guy, Kurt Foreman, this used to be the Wheaton Ale Fest. Now it's the Wheaton Brew Fest. So now it's run by the Wheaton Park District.
So he gave up the keys?
He didn't give up the keys. It was kind of a dick move on the part of the
So
Wheaton.
it was a hostile takeover.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So it's in the same park. Wheaton, the Wheaton Ale Fest started because they were celebrating the 10th anniversary of Wheaton leaving the dry state.
Right. They used to be a dry.
You couldn't buy booze
town.
at all in Wheaton.
No, yeah.
So they were celebrating the 10-year anniversary of them becoming a place where you can buy booze.
That's why I lived in Warrenville, next to Wheaton, where you could get booze freely.
Yeah. So this place, so this party, it's in the oldest park in Wheaton, and it's where like the founder of Wheaton, like his grandkid, like built this park, and that's where the party is.
Okay. So they got the taste for booze,
Yeah.
and then like they're just bad drunks, and they got mean and kicked them out.
Right. Like I don't understand. Like why would you ban it? Well, I mean, at some point, I guess people thought.
No, I was saying when they took it over from Kurt.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're angry drunks, and they're like, give us the fest, we'll beat you up.
We want the fest. They probably hung him like they probably like dangled him outside of a window or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty whack how they did that.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Because his events are always great,
Dude, he does.
Racine Brew Fest.
He's one of the few guys. He reminds me of Josh Seago in a sense that, he takes a lot of pride in throwing parties that have different themes in different cities.
Yeah.
And still have like a level of quality. And so the fact that they didn't understand that is disappointing to say the least. Why are we even talking about this fest? Let's just move past this fest.
All right. Well, I want to know if it's going to be as good without him.
It's a great question. I don't know. I haven't been since Kurt put it on.
Okay. So if you go to this, I don't think I'll be able to make it out to this.
Yeah.
On Saturday? It's Saturday.
Yeah, August 1st.
But if you do go, please.
Because Metallica's at Lollapalooza that day. That's why you're not going.
Oh, that's why not. I've seen Metallica. Did that. But if you go, please let us know, because I'd love to know like how it is compared to last year, and like if it's the same quality or if they're like really strict this time, or something like that.
So you're looking at a $45 ticket, $90 for VIP, 30 breweries, including Dry City. Dry City is the brewery that now resides in Wheaton.
Oh, that's a good name for them. It's kind of like Temperance being in Evanston.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Dry City. Okay.
Yeah, it's a cool name.
Did they just open?
Recently, I'd say maybe the last 4 months.
They didn't invite us out. I don't know.
Tisk tisk.
I don't know. What are they doing? Yeah. Anything else on over the weekend?
That's all I got.
Okay. On August 4th, it's Tuesday, the day we usually record. We're recording on Wednesday this time because if you travel, is an event at Jerry's in Andersonville.
Right on.
And this is with Alarmist, Gary Gully's brewery, Off Color, and Metropolitan.
I have yet to try Pantsless because everywhere I go, it's always sold. I went to Small Bar last night. Small Bar, the only Small Bar left.
Okay.
And I'm like, let me.
I was about to say which one. I was like,
and it was all.
One out.
And it was all gone. And I've done that at like 2 or 3 places now.
Oh,
so which is a good problem for him. So
definitely a great problem to have. They are going to have, I think, 2 beers from each. They'll have Crankshaft and Heliostat from Metro. I haven't had that.
Yeah, I think that might be. It might be their multigrain Zwickel. I'm not sure.
Oh, Zwickel. Okay, so everyone's all about the Zwickels.
It's all about that Zwickel.
And then no Pantsless from Alarmist. He's got IPA and what's this? Photophobia. I think it's the fear of phobias, probably. That's a pretty good name. And then Apex Predator and the Fierce. from Off Color.
Yeah. I know Apex is the Saison or the Farmhouse Ale. I'm not sure what Fierce is, though.
Okay.
Right on.
But we're recording, so we probably won't make it to that.
Okay.
But that should be good. But they don't even have Pantsless, so you wouldn't even get to try it. We got to make it up there. Gary would have us in a minute. His brewery's pretty far away, though, so it'd be a little bit of a hike for us.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what neighborhood that is.
Sagawam? Or it's far.
Yeah.
It's far, man.
I love how you change gears. You're like, you were going to name it, but then you're like, you know what? It's just far.
It starts with S, and basically, if you go 2 blocks one way, you are in the suburbs. That's how far it is.
Right on, man.
Saginaw?
Saginaw.
That's where it's
There
at.
you go.
Saginaw. 2 blocks away. That's the burbs. You have to go. The best way to get there is go on 9094 and like go around into Skokie and like cut back into it. You have to leave the city to get to this brewery that's in the city. He's far, but he's making great beer. I guess that's the important part.
Oh, man.
And it's the old Siebel building.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's where
Well, I didn't know that.
It's where Siebel started, like way back when, before they were like across the street from Goose Island, Clybourne.
Yeah, and now they moved from there, and now they're sharing a space with that culinary school in Chicago and Halstead. I can't think of the name of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We know. Everyone knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall. See, there you go.
Takes
Brad
takes a
Chmielewski,
minute.
ladies and gentlemen.
8% unicorns versus ninjas, or
Yeah.
ninjas versus unicorns. It's yeah.
Right on.
I think that's all the events though on our calendar, right?
That's it, man. That's all I got for events, man.
But we usually try to bring a little bit of beer news
Yes.
with you. We're a little light this week. We
Yes.
do got one thing, right? Two
Yeah,
things?
we got 1 or 2 things, man. Let's get right into it. We were talking about Pipeworks. Pipeworks announced their entire schedule for can releases. They're all going to be at Emporium and Logan because Emporium and Logan is very can-centric.
Yeah.
Let's see. So on August 21st, they're going to do Warbirds. September 14th, they'll do the Lizard King.
Right.
I want to send a quick hello to our friend at Side Door, Mr. Vandertuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a Three Floyds dinner on August 8th.
Oh, nice.
And I'm sure we'll talk about it again, but I mean, yeah, that's going to be a good dinner.
Nice, yeah. I'm sure that one's going to sell out. The Salamoth dinner was less people than the Bourbon County dinner, which
Yeah,
makes sense.
That does make
it's,
sense.
But, yeah, they're always doing great beer dinners, so definitely check
Yeah,
that
that's
out.
a great place to go. I went to visit him on a Saturday, like last Saturday or something,
cool.
and then we just talked about it, and he was like, "Yo, we're having Floyd's dinner coming up. It's going to be sick."
He's got some good beers he wants to open, so we should definitely go check him out.
He secretly got like a very dangerous tap place. When you combine the taps and the bottles at Side Door, I think his list goes up head to head with anybody in off the Mag Mile for sure.
Yeah, someone was coming to town, and they're like, where should I go? And I was like, Side Door, of course, and Purple Pig, and Rock Bottom,
Yeah.
and Farmhouse. Like, those are your spots over
Yeah,
there.
like if you're forced to be on the Mag Mile for some reason, that's where you go.
And they told me, like, Side Door, like, that place was where it was at.
Yeah, for sure. Goose Island's Belgian Fest is coming up, man. Talk about the end of the summer. Goose Island's Belgian Fest is it's the 6th annual. It's going to be on September the 13th, which is more than likely a Sunday.
Okay.
Right? But tickets going to sell this Friday the 31st.
All right. I
Yeah.
know Stout Fest and Belgian Fest, those sell out fast. So
Yeah.
if you want to go, definitely try to get tickets.
Yeah, the Band of Bohemia, which is a new brew pub up in Ravenswood. So this is a graduate from Alinea. Alinea and Next is where this. It's a culinary brew pub. So it's
Moody Tongue-esque?
Moody Tongue-esque. Yeah.
Okay.
And then what Michael Carroll is a brewer who used to be at Half Acre. He's going to be the brewer on this project. So it's they're going to have a 110 seat facility in Ravenswood, and they're going to focus on low ABV, very flavorful, like big flavor, low ABV ales and lagers to go with food from graduates of the Alinea.
Is there a date for this, or just, like, it's happening?
It's happening. Yeah,
Okay.
I think they found a place, and they're in the final phase of getting it open.
Okay.
Yeah, so that ought to be cool.
When we did, when Hopcast went over to Half Acre,
Yeah.
man, years ago now, we did a little soda cast with
Okay.
Michael Carroll.
Yeah.
Because he was Half Acre, if you went there way back when, like 4 years now, 5
Yeah.
years, they were doing sodas.
Half Acre?
Half Acre was doing sodas. Michael was doing sodas. He'd go over to Jewel, buy some stuff,
Yeah.
make a soda.
No kidding.
They were doing like one-off sodas you could get on tap there.
That's funny.
And that was all him.
Yeah.
And they were great.
He's an interesting guy, man. My very first Lollapalooza, I took a beer that he made, and he wouldn't sell it to me. He said, "Listen, man, it was in a bomber." He's like, "You need to take this beer." And I was looking at the beer. It was like this really odd, like Belgian ale with peppercorns.
Yeah.
And I sat on it for like 3 months, and that was the first thing I opened when I went to Lolla.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was just like he's a cool guy. He's a very likable guy.
No,
yeah,
definitely,
and I'm sure he's gonna hit this out of the park, man.
Excited for that. Is that all our beer news then?
One more bit of news. On August 18th, which is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
This show, Chicago Beer Pass.
Our show.
The show.
Oh, okay. Not something called this show.
No.
Chicago Beer Pass.
Chicago Beer Pass is going to be at Miller Coors at the Fred and Adolph's pub right in downtown Chicago. We're gonna be broadcasting from there.
That's a little tease for what's gonna happen.
For sure. We're gonna talk all things Miller Coors, all things 10th and Blake. If anyone has any questions that they want to submit or any direction we think the show should go in, by all means, let us know, man. Let's get that going.
Have we put in a formal request for Horchata Blue Moon?
That needs to happen.
Okay. All right.
If that doesn't happen, I'm leaving.
All right. We're just show like, what's the when you see in sitcoms where you just like walk in and like turn around right away. One of those like nope.
This is in my rider. I need Horchata Blue Moon.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, I don't know if we'll do video for that. We're doing video this week, trying it out.
We got video going right now.
Yeah,
man.
we're trying that out here in the studio.
Right
so
on, man.
I don't know if we'll bring out the video for our Blue Moon episode, or not our Blue Moon, our Miller Coors episode. But we'll see how it goes.
Right on.
But I think that'll do it for this week's episode, right?
Yeah.
Nik, where can people find you if they want to get in touch?
I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
I'm on Twitter at BRAD. Chicago Beer Pass is on Twitter at Chicago Beer Pass. Website, Chicago Beer Pass. That's where all the episodes get posted. Links to most things we talk about here. The show notes as well. I think we're going to have a YouTube channel where you can watch these videos. So be sure to comment there, like us up there, follow, all that good stuff. We'll try posting more videos. If you're liking the video version of Chicago Beer Pass, please let us know. Definitely more work, but we want to deliver what the people want, and they probably want to see us pounding cans of Ninjas vs. Unicorns. And so that'll do it for this week's episode. Cheers.
Cheers.